had this idea of maybe starting a journal and throwing like A plus, back test examples or just examples in them for you guys to reference. Or doing it like this, where I kind of just take the backtest trade and then we just walk through it on trades that I just think that are like A plus, whether they're hindsight or not, in video form. And this would probably be easier for me just because I'm really bad. I'll be honest, I'm really bad at like journaling. Like I'm not fancy at all with it. Really slow at typing. So this would be a lot easier for me, but we're gonna try this first. Let me know what you guys think. But if you look at this PA here, it's a little confusing, right? Because you kind of have this asset running lower, so let's kind of just look over here between these two assets right now. So you kind of just have this asset running lower while this one runs higher. So this is called decoupling, where just assets are expanding opposite directions. Now this asset over here then runs into a key level. Now typically when assets are desynced like this, it's just one asset trying to get to a key level. That key level resyncs the market because when price expands opposite directions, it's going to expand to a key level, which creates SMT, and that resyncs the market. So that's what you see here, where the divergence is actually with this low, with this gap here, you can see. So when we actually change this gap here and create a divergence with it, it's like, where is this asset over here? It's in premium, right? Which is like an advanced premium discount concept, right? And then we get a strength switch, which is what you really want to see, right? You can see it already happened here, right? And I could have showed you guys the trade I took here, but we're more so focusing on this. So here you get a first stage SMT here, right? So then you get another stage SMT here, right? So this is what I was working with, the profile I was working with. You can kind of see right here. So just think about it, like you have a relevant low down here, right? An actual reversal low because you have an SMT right here, right? We're technically not right here, but you have a PSP, right? And you have really expansion away from the original SMT, like from the key level basically, right? And then you have like a relevant low right here, basically. You have these spaced out lows. This is how AM views relevant lows on the daily. Then you have SMT with that low. And this is how we can target, like these equal highs, for example, or the previous high, like right here. So that's what we kind of see right here. So now we just need like a profile to support this move. So let's go look at that. So how do we want this data to form, guys? Is we want the data open low first, ideally. You can kind of see why this would be a valid reversal to lows because you see the displacement away, right? This is, again, this is one of my favorite things to see, guys. It's when you reverse at an SMT, for example, or a key level, and the price expands away. That expansion away leaves a gap, and then starts retracing the gap, and like leaves equal highs. You see this? Really good framework. Like it's so good, like really is. So now, all we're gonna ask ourselves is the low they put in, right? So you can see here that we kind of open up near the previous low, and we form that divergence with this low. So now you're gonna ask yourself, Asia did this, by the way, because here's the daily open right here. Asia hit the previous low. So now you're kind of asking yourself, like, is there a reversal signature here? Because there's SMT, but is there a reversal signature? That's really all you're asking yourself. And when I look here, clearly there is like some type of reversal signature, right? We open low, clearly have a V-shaped signature, gaps and whatnot. And this is the trade that I took here. So you kind of have like these spaced out lows here. You have this low right here, which is just an intraday low, and the current low of day, which is right here, right? They're somewhat spaced out, and we have an SMT around a driver, as you can see. So that right there is a really good thing to see, obviously, is we want to see that, SMT, what's it called? Actually hold, but we actually create this before the driver, you're going to see. So look here, at 925, we create this SMT. So this is why I'm trading this asset, even though it's like weaker technically. But this is a positional entry I wanted to show you guys, right? Because we have the divergence here. Notice how both assets, like, notice how this asset here is displacing away. Like, if I actually show you this real quick, ignore this because I don't really care about that. This is my PP, but notice how when you create this divergence, you can already see the strength switch. You can see that both assets are reversing, so, or this one is, right? So the asset actually shoots low. Look at the last 5-minute candle before the open, right? Look how it's bullish expansion. This one's like over here, like bearish. So you're gonna see a strength switch happening. So that's why I know the reversal's already in, and you can just get in the trade, right? So you just get in before the driver, per stop loss at a relevant level, and get in, or per your TP over here, obviously, right? So that's a really good trade in my opinion. Now if you take this one or something, like, kind of awkward, right? You kind of have to put your stop loss. Yeah, it's honestly awkward because you don't know if it's going to sweep out these lows. So you can't really take a positional entry over here. That's why. You can only take it over here, you know. You can just expand so much further because it is stronger overall, right? But, yeah. And since it's with the higher time frame, right? It's with the higher time frame narrative. Typically, they're all going to get to the same draw and liquidity and whatnot. Kind of comes a little deep back in the range, but you'd be fine, as you can see. And ultimately, this asset fails to manipulate these highs, so that means that the sense is probably going to catch up. And you can see it gets there, right there. So that's just a good top down in my opinion. You can see it's just a reversal candle, basically, just working off the previous 4-hour low, right before a driver. And yeah, it's really with the daily, right? So these daily SMTs, these daily swing points, you really want to trust them. So if you have a previous day's closure, right, the day opens low, like, you're automatically gonna trust the SMTs like at the low of the day, maybe opposed to like the highs that are like essentially almost countering the higher time frame. They're probably gonna fail, right? The ones that are actually from the low of day on side with the higher time frame are much more likely to hold. So that's a good example there. So let me know if you guys like these. I'm gonna try to do them short enough to where I can just upload it. I don't have to upload a Google Doc. So yeah, let me know.